Sevylor Adventure Plus reviewed after 7 years of heavy use. I have owned this canoe for 7 years, and it is the second one I have purchased. Between the first and second Adventure Plus, I tried a Sevylor Alameda, returned in 24 hours, it leaked air. I use my Adventure Plus very heavily, both in fresh and salt water. Briefly, some data. Inflatable 3-seater canoe, 2 adults and 1 child. Dimensions: 368 by 86 by 60 centimeters. Weight: 15.2 kilograms, 33.4 pounds. Maximum load: 200 kilograms, 440 pounds. Working pressure: 1.5 pounds per square inch, 100 millibars. Canoe suitable for calm or slightly choppy waters in gentle currents, unsuitable for rafting and impetuous waterways. It's a boat that, despite the name adventure, I consider more for leisure than extreme sports. The canoe, made in a single green color on the outside and gray on the inside, is a 2.5-seater, designed for 2 adults and a child. It is of the low-pressure, mid-range type. It is sold both individually, only the hull, and in a kit including, in addition to the hull, 2 detachable paddles, aluminum shaft, plastic blades and joints, a rather unreliable pressure gauge, an inefficient foot pump, and during sporadic offers, 3 life jackets. The price varies from €230 to €270 for the hull alone, from €400 to €470 for the kit, which I do not recommend due to the low quality of the accessories. Whether you opt for the kit or the single hull, the canoe comes with an instruction manual, a carrying bag, 3 inflatable seats, the stern fin, and a couple of patches for any repairs. Glue is not included. The Adventure Plus is a boat with a very limited draft and can navigate in a few centimeters of water. Thanks to the flat and rather wide bottom, it offers excellent stability. In many years, even diving and getting back on board, I have never capsized it. On the other hand, its hydrodynamics are not among the best, both due to the width of the hull and its nylon coating, which, although very robust, offers greater resistance to water compared to smooth PVC. For me, this is not a problem since I push the canoe with an electric motor. But if you like to paddle, the Adventure Plus is certainly not among the most performing inflatable kayaks. Externally, the hull is covered in nylon. The seams are really excellent. The material is very robust. The 3 separate air chambers are made of PVC. The 2 side ones are inserted in nylon pockets and can be removed via the zippers at the stern and bow. The one on the bottom is housed between the bulges of the 2 side ones. The lower side of the bottom one is protected by the nylon hull. The upper side is visible. The PVC of the air chambers is not very thick. In fact, it is very thin. The manufacturer has focused on reducing weight and opted for the external protection of the chambers with a robust sheath. It's not a bad idea at all. The bottom air chamber, although made of thicker PVC than the side chambers, not being protected, is exposed to the risk of puncture or pinching. From experience, the canoe with 3 people on board can float and navigate even if the bottom chamber deflates completely due to a puncture or accidental tear. It can also navigate if the nylon bottom is torn by a log while running with the current. Moving it in these conditions, if you don't have an engine, is very tiring, but it allows you to land saving passengers, kayak and equipment. Repair in case of puncture or tear is simple and definitive. The side air chambers are equipped for inflation and deflation with very practical Boston valves. The bottom one with a less practical mini Boston. The mini Boston, although having the same pump connection as the Boston, has a much greater resistance at the inlet and does not open using low-pressure pumps. Suggestion: since the amount of air to be introduced into the chambers is really considerable, it is advisable to use an electric pump, even a very cheap and very low-pressure one. The important thing is that it moves a large mass of air and that it shapes the hull. Then the hand pump is used for the last phase of inflation until the working pressure is reached. If the mini Boston does not open because the pressure of the electric pump is insufficient, it is advisable to unscrew the valve and introduce air directly into the hole. Then after removing the nozzle, close it by screwing it back on quickly and finish inflating by hand. The stern fin is a very simple plastic blade that has in the upper part 2 hook shapes to be inserted into the rubber base under the hull. Tip: the fin should be mounted with the kayak deflated. It is impossible after inflating the canoe to insert it into the base. The fin is essential if you are paddling, useless if you are moving by motor since all electric outboards are equipped with their own fin. The seats of the Adventure Plus are certainly not the best, neither for comfort nor for design. They have 9mm Dr. tuba valves of the same type used on the most miserable inflatables. Small tube valves made of soft plastic without screws with an incorporated membrane that opens by pressing on the 2 sides. Tip: I inflate the seats by mouth. The amount of air needed is really small, and I take less time by mouth than by pumping, especially by tightening the valve with my teeth and helping myself with my tongue. I close the cap without the air escaping. The seats are fixed to the bottom by means of 2 Velcro strips and to the hull by 2 adjustable straps. The seat is very low and the backrest is flat and is not enveloping. Although supported by sturdy straps, it does not offer good resistance. For paddling, it is certainly not ideal. Going by motor, even if I would prefer higher and more comfortable seats, their structure does not affect the efficiency of the canoe at all. Tip: when moving by motor, the backrest is useless. It is not necessary to lean your back to exert force with the paddles, so it is more comfortable to fold the seat like a book and double its height by sitting on the backrest. Warning: moving on the seat, the bad Dr. tuba valves open. The hissing sound produced frightens the passengers horribly who fear the worst, but as is obvious, they are not in any danger. At the stern and bow, there are 2 covers to reduce the boarding of water due to waves and splashes. The stern cover is essential if you want to motorize the kayak. If you are interested in the subject, I advise you to subscribe to the channel and watch the video, How to Motorize an Inflatable Canoe. Both covers are equipped with elastic cord strings for storing objects and are equipped with a plastic block. They are useful, excellent for fixing a pump or a small backpack. Under the covers, there is enough space to accommodate equipment of not excessive size, such as a rope, a thermos, a small battery, and so on. Both at the stern and at the bow, there are sewn and riveted very sturdy handles that allow the canoe to be easily transported by 2 people. To move it alone, it is more convenient to grab the central strap, whose main function is to keep the hull in shape. Thanks to its limited weight, the Adventure Plus kayak can also be transported alone without major problems and without the need for a trolley. When deflated, the canoe easily fits into the transport bag, which, however, is made of low-quality nylon. Over time, it gets holes and tears, especially around the rings in which the closing cord slides. The transport bag is just a very simple bag with 2 handles. It is not equipped with backpack straps and cannot be easily transported for long distances. In conclusion, the Sevylor Adventure Plus is a 3-seater canoe that is not particularly performing, can be easily motorized, it is very stable, robust, and very long-lasting, also suitable for use in seawater, and although it has some defects, it still has an excellent quality-price ratio, certainly among the best on the market. Good sailing, and see you next time.